Welcome to the Cauldron of Curiosities.
Welcome to Foragers Feedback. Some of you will have noticed that the hedgerows are fairly dry, aren't they? And we're seeing lots of grass seeds and most of the plants are drying out. Although I did notice that the plantain seems to be coping a little bit better than some of the other grasses. But what can you forage at the moment? Well, you could forage the grass seeds themselves and use them later on once we've had some rain to help the grass reseed itself. And you may also notice that the dandelions in some places have still got some leaves. They'd be quite old and tough, but it depends on what you're using it for. The other thing that you might want to pick is blackberries, because the brambles are producing blackberries early this year and they are quite juicy in places. So if you go in areas that are close to rivers where there's more water, so there's access for the plant's roots to get water, then do go along to those places looking. So where my daughter keeps her horse, which is in Bubble, outside of Coventry, there were plenty of juicy blackberries there. So it will be interesting to see how they fare and if the birds and animals are eating them as well as the humans. Now, what else have I seen? Well, you will notice that a lot of trees, their leaves are curling in because they're struggling to conserve the water that they have. This morning there was a very light shower went over, probably lasted about 5 minutes, but not really enough to give any leaves any sustenance. And the larger the trees are, then the deeper their roots are, so hopefully they will have the ability to recover from this drought period. But trees with a shorter root system may well be struggling, and you might want to think about finding a way of digging into the soil, maybe popping a plant pot in there and giving them a good soak whilst we're waiting for the rains to come. Some of you who are listening probably aren't having this drought period and you may be having enough rain. I know when I was up in Scotland there was plenty of rain, and I've not heard word that they're having this consistent sky without rain. So it's been quite unusual, hasn't it? But think about that, gathering the grass seeds, and what is it that you can do to support the wildlife? Are you leaving out bowls with stones in for the bees to drink from, and even the birds? So we've got a yellow bucket at the end of the garden, and it has water in it as well as a coil of bramble, and I noticed that the pigeons go there to get a drink, and I've put water out the front of my daughter's house so that anybody passing or any animals that happen to be in the area, they can go there for a drink as well. It's interesting noting the water levels in places where there might be a water pound. Are the bees going there and getting a drink? Hopefully they are. But do what you can. Put some water out for them. You'll notice it dries up quite quickly with the heat. And remember to put something out there every day if you can. We can all do our bit, can't we? And support the wildlife, birds, insects and small animals that might be struggling to get a drink. Just imagine what it would be like to not have a drink for a while. You get dry mouth. So do consider that. And happy grass seed picking, and hopefully you're not having problems with the grass seeds getting into your dog's paws. Thank you for listening to Foragers Feedback, and do tune in next week.